They said the Cold War was over, but now rusting Soviet tanks are rolling back onto the battlefield, not in a museum, but in a real war. Russia is deploying armor so old, it looks like it was dragged straight out of a scrapyard. And Ukraine, they're not just fighting back, they're obliterating these relics. Let's break this down. Over the past year, Russia has lost a staggering amount of modern equipment, tanks, apps, even advanced drones. So much so that they've started pulling out T-62s and even T-55s tanks that date back to the 1950s and 60s. Some of these are older than the soldiers driving them. It's not just desperate, it's historic. Never in modern warfare have we seen such ancient armor used on this scale in frontline combat. Why is this happening? Well, Russia's stockpile of newer gear has taken a massive hit. From javelins and laws to drones dropping grenades with pinpoint accuracy, Ukraine has turned modern anti-tank warfare into a brutal science. Every new Russian tank that rolls in, there's a pretty good chance it's not rolling back out. So, what's left in the Russian warehouse? Rotting Soviet leftovers. These tanks were designed in a different era, a time before precision drones, before satellite targeting, before shoulder-fired missiles could pierce through inches of steel like a hot knife through butter. They were never built to survive the kind of battlefield we have today, and now they're being sent into one of the most high-tech, drone-surveilled wars in history. It's like sending a Nokia brick phone into a smartphone war. And the results? Predictably devastating. Footage from the front lines shows these ancient tanks getting picked off one by one. Some break down before even reaching combat. Others are used as mobile artillery parked behind the lines and firing from distance, because actually engaging in close combat is a guaranteed death sentence. But it's not just about the hardware. It's what this says about Russia's situation. Deploying these museum pieces reveals a few things. First, their logistics are stretched thin. Sanctions, battlefield losses, and industrial bottlenecks have made it almost impossible for Russia to replace its modern vehicles at scale. Second, morale. Imagine being a young soldier ordered into a 60-year-old tank with outdated armor, poor optics, and little to no chance against modern threats. It's a brutal psychological blow. Meanwhile, Ukraine has been adapting fast. They've taken Western weapons, mixed them with creative tactics, and turned the battlefield into a nightmare for Russian armor. We're talking about ambushes using commercial drones, fast, moving infantry with anti-tank weapons, and clever decoys to bait out attacks. Ukrainian soldiers have even begun modifying their own equipment to counter Russia's evolving strategies. It's a masterclass in asymmetric warfare, and it's working. According to analysts, the kill rate of Russian tanks in Ukraine is among the highest ever recorded in modern conflict. And as Russia turns to older and older models, the rate is only going up. The T-62s and T-55s lack modern reactive armor, thermal sights, or electronic countermeasures, making them sitting ducks. They're so outdated that some don't even have night vision, a death sentence in today's 24/7 drone-monitored battlefield. So, what's the strategy behind this? Honestly, there might not be one. It could be desperation, a sheer numbers game. Throw in whatever you've got, even if it's old, because you've got nothing else. But it's also about optics, showing movement on the front, keeping pressure up, trying to project strength even if that strength is hollow and rusting. But here's the thing, these tanks may be old, but they're still dangerous. Even a 60-year-old tank with a working gun can kill. They're being used in fixed positions as makeshift bunkers or in support roles. In some cases, they're packed with explosives and used as remote-controlled bombs. It's brutal, crude, and effective, a chilling reminder that even outdated tech can be deadly in the right or wrong hands. Still, the bigger story here is what this says about the war. We're watching a superpower, at least on paper, dig through the basement of its arsenal, this is more than just a hardware issue. It's a sign of strategic strain, logistical collapse, and the human cost of trying to sustain a grinding war with dwindling resources. And it's happening in real time. At the same time, Ukraine continues to receive modern equipment, albeit slowly, from the West. Leopard tanks, HIMARS systems, advanced artillery. The contrast is stark. Sleek, modern machines versus metal ghosts from the Cold War. And yet, Ukraine's greatest strength isn't just the gear, it's the ingenuity. The ability to take old Soviet weapons and fight off the very army that once built them. It's a strange, almost poetic twist, and as winter approaches, things are only going to get tougher. Mud, snow, and frozen ground will test both sides. But in that frozen chaos, the weaknesses of old Soviet tanks become even more apparent. Their engines struggle in the cold, their electronics fail, their visibility drops, and Ukraine knows it. So where does this leave us? Russia deploying rotting Soviet armor isn't just a tactical move, it's a symbol of a military fighting with one foot in the past and no clear path forward. It's a warning to the world about what happens when strategy loses to pride and logistics fall apart under pressure. But more importantly, it's a sign that this war, far from ending, is evolving. Faster than anyone expected, smarter than anyone predicted, and deadlier than anyone wants to admit. We're witnessing history in motion. And every rusted tank tells a story not of strength, but of struggle. If you found this breakdown helpful or thought-provoking, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Do you think using old Soviet tanks is desperation or part of a deeper strategy? And don't forget to share this video with someone following the conflict closely. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp.